Shocking revelation. Tragedy caused by Meghan is irreversible. Harry was brainwashed. According to a royal insider, Harry has been brainwashed by his cult leader to such an extent that he will do and say anything he's told. And it's all in the hands of Meghan Markle. The insider explains Harry, is a parrot, no longer able or allowed to write his own speeches. Even his statement, Afghanistan has her, Meghan, hallmark all over it. The source revelation on the National Enquirer says that Meghan is hell-bent on causing the royal family as many problems as she can. It was she who agreed to Omid Scobie writing Finding Freedom, and by her own admission, finally, under oath, helped him in the process. She claimed everyone who read it would realize why she had to leave the toxic royal family. The opposite turned out to be true, and she gained a few fans. The source dished it was Meghan who was determined to do an interview with Oprah and arrange the format, mostly her with a brief appearance of Harry towards the end, by which time she had done as much damage to the royal family as she could. It was Meghan who told Harry to juggle outside the window in her birthday video, even though he didn't want to and said that he would look stupid, but he did it anyway. So no, I'm not surprised Harry's turned away from his family. They claim once she got her claws into him, he was putty in her hands, and she's molded him into a weapon she can use whenever she feels it necessary. Almost all her actions are premeditated, and I expect she spends the day plotting her next move. Well, what else does she have to do? Certainly, she's not playing with the children and ensuring that Archie has a good time and a happy childhood. I wonder how they spend their days. Their lives don't seem to be a riot of fun and laughter, that's for certain. Perhaps she's writing her new word salad and then teaching Harry his lines for his next public appearance. Meanwhile, another source said to the outlet, "I did not anticipate Prince Harry turning against his own family." Tellingly, he said he did not know he was trapped until Meghan told him he was trapped. She told him that he could have a great life outside of the royal life that he was raised in. I think most men in his position right now would have a lot of regrets. He gave up everything and everybody for Meghan. He has 2 children whom he loves very much, but most children want to know their grandparents, if they have any alive. Obviously, Archie and Lilibet have 3 grandparents alive and 1 great-grandmother alive. This doesn't appear to matter to Meghan, and I'm at a loss as to her thinking and her behavior and why she wanted to make Prince Harry leave his own family in the way that she did. She's very sneaky and deceitful. Perhaps Prince Harry won't see that until one day he's on the receiving end of her sneakiness and deceit. Harry's wife found a wee nugget of resentment and anger that she has successfully stoked into a raging inferno. I truly believe that Harry wanted someone similar to Catherine, someone who would help shoulder the burden and also provide warmth and companionship and love. While none of us are privy to the private relationship between Harry and his wife, it is likely that she is as abrasive and difficult in private as she is in public. One of the first things a master manipulator does is isolate their victim from family and friends who might provide different perspectives and insight. She's done that like a master. He is a very immature bloke who still hasn't reached wisdom with age. I doubt he ever will. The 3 of them were so successful in the UK. William and Catherine and he gave the right impression to what a royal should be doing. I read also that when Catherine was in labor with little George, Harry was with William and Catherine and they ordered pizzas in. Such a lovely bonding experience. I have twin sons who are in their mid-30s. One lad has been with his girlfriend for 9 years. They're all very close. His girlfriend knows about twin time, and occasionally the other goes to his house and she goes off on a pamper session or visits her parents or her friends. That way they all get to keep the bonds. I imagine this is what used to happen with William and Harry and Catherine. So sad that a woman showed up. Yes, eventually Harry would have moved on, but she was so jealous and divisive that it all ended so badly. It's so sad for William, really. He wasn't treated as second best. William was being trained to be king, and Harry had much more freedom than that. As for the Duke of Edinburgh, he spent his life walking a pace behind his wife, and he didn't behave like a toddler that was refused another sweetie. He actually handed over his treasured patronage of the Royal Marines as Captain General with the instruction not to mess it up. And what did our hero do? I'll tell you, he sacked a long-term engagement to attend a memorial dinner to honor the Marines killed in an IRA attack on their barracks, to attend a London premiere of The Lion King, and was seen and heard asking the CEO of Disney for voiceover work for his wife. If you don't believe me, the clips are available on YouTube. As for the implication that anyone apart from a driver that had been drinking, driving in excess of 95 miles per hour in a tunnel, and hit a post was responsible is seriously uninformed. Had Diana been wearing a seatbelt, she would have liked the security guard sitting directly in front of her have survived the accident. Indeed, most of the injuries that the guard sustained were caused by her slamming into him when the car came to a sudden stop. There are no excuses for their ridiculous and petulant behavior beyond the fact that Meghan was never going to take up the role in the family. Far from glamour, most of their work is unutterably boring, visiting dreary little towns, meeting with boring little people in a damp, if picturesque, little island with no hope of promotion to be king. Are you seriously suggesting that there would have been enough for Meghan? I agree. From my point of view, she is not, but neither is he, and in fact, even more so him. She has a long history of ghosting the people who love and care for her, no doubt convincing Harry that it's all genetic pain, whatever that means, and even all his problems are someone else's fault. Considering that, in my opinion, if Harry had an initial thought of quickly dying of loneliness, she began to convince him that he was emotionally abused by his father and grandparents, and his mother was the only person who ever truly loved him, and may have even been killed by them. So he trusted her completely, and the pain he felt was real while he was trying to make a complete fool of himself while she sat on the ground hoping that there was no such thing as mud. Whatever he is clinging to can stick to her. After all, she has a bright future in politics to look forward to. Harry is a favorite member of the royal family. We respect him doing his military service, proud that he founded Invictus Games. Millions of people watched the wedding, and you could see in his face how much he loved Markle. Even when they left for Canada, it was fair to say that if you want a more normal life away from the public eye, good luck. Then, bad things hit the fans, starting with that disgusting performance on Oprah, and the whole thing has gone downhill since then. Eventually, if they split, I don't see Harry having a way back. He's hurt his own family immensely and continues to do so. I know both have been stripped of honorary appointments in the military and royal patronages. I don't believe the Queen will go any further, but I wouldn't be surprised if Prince Charles does when he's king. I think the majority will support that.